If your kids tune out, if every rule you make gets edited by your wife, and if the only time anyone in your house seems to notice you is when you raise your voice, this video is for you. I'm Will from patriarchy.com. We help Christian husbands become calm, virtuous leaders their families can trust. Today's question, and this is a composite case from the Nolan Bot logs and from you in the comments, goes like this. Well, at work, I'm respected. Guys, listen when I speak. At home, my kids ignore me, and my wife quietly overrules me. I try to be firm, but I get told I'm too harsh. If I back off, the house turns to chaos. How does a Catholic father actually lead without just yelling? Now, if that's you, you're not broken. You're just living in a very confused culture. So in this video, we'll cover three things. First, why your kids don't listen, and it's not because they're just wild. Second, how your wife may be unintentionally undermining you, and how your passivity has trained her to. Third, a concrete plan to reclaim authority in the house without becoming a tyrant. And around halfway through, I'll give you a simple sentence you can start using today that often shifts the whole atmosphere in a week. So stay with me. Now, first, why your kids don't listen. And this is really about a mixture of justice, habit, and also mixed signals. So let's start with the obvious. Kids are not tiny adults. They don't have fully formed reason. They live largely by habit, emotion, and intuition. Now, moral theology is clear. As a father, you owe your children discipline and formation, not just food and Netflix. You are responsible before God for their upbringing, not the school, not the government, not YouTube. Now, let's look at a typical pattern that we see. Dads give a vague instruction from the sofa. Guys, calm down. The kids ignore him. The mom snaps, shouts, or steps in with her system. Then dad either explodes or just checks out. So what do the children actually learn? They learn that dad's words are suggestions. Mom's words are commands. If they whine and delay long enough, the adults will actually fight each other. So Aquinas would say you are forming a habit by repeated acts. You've unintentionally built the habit that dad's voice is background noise. So the first hard truth is this. Your kids don't obey your voice because your voice has not been consistent, clear, and backed by action. And before you sink into shame, just hear this. That can change. Habits can be retrained, but not by one big speech, by hundreds of small, consistent acts. And this is how your wife is involved and how you have trained her. Casti Connubii is very blunt. The husband has real headship in the family, but it also says if the husband neglects his duty, the wife is forced to step into his place in directing the family. Now, many of your wives are living that. Here's another composite case that we see again and again. A wife will say something like, he's a good man, he works hard. But with the kids, he's either passive or angry. I can't just sit there when they're screaming, hitting each other, climbing the furniture. So I step in. Then he's hurt that they listen to mom, not dad. So from her angle, she didn't wake up wanting to undermine you. She's trying to stop the house from burning down. From your angle, it feels like she's constantly correcting you in front of the kids. Now you feel disrespected, so you withdraw more. She steps up more. The cycle continues. And it also cements. Now, St. Philip Neri has that brutal line that I like to quote often. Men are generally the carpenters of their own crosses. So most of you have, over the years, built the very dynamic that you now hate. The good news is that what you built, you can also unbuild, but it won't happen by demanding instant submission from your wife. It starts with you behaving in a way that deserves trust. So let me ask you something directly. If I could watch your home for a week and I muted the audio, would it be obvious that you are the leader of the house, just from your body language, consistency, and calm? Or would it look like mum is the general and you are the irritated older son and the kids run the place? So if that stings, don't click away. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you one simple sentence you can use with your wife and one simple habit with your kids that, if you repeat them, will start shifting that picture without shouting, sulking, or ridiculous alpha male posturing. So stay with me. Here's the sentence that changes the atmosphere. Use it exactly like this. I'm going to take primary responsibility for discipline with the kids. I've dropped the ball in the past. I'm sorry. From now on, if I give them an instruction, I need you to back me up. And if I'm missing something, tell me later, privately. So why this wording? It owns your past failures. So that's you showing justice and humility. It also names the new intention, and it invites her help, but out of the kids' earshot. It also lines up with the Catholic order. You as head, her as heart and counselor, and the kids under both. Will she instantly agree? Maybe. But more likely, she'll nod and then test whether you'll follow through. Good. You want that test. It forces you to be consistent. And that's really why she's doing it. Can she trust you? Consistency is king. So now the kid side. From today, introduce this rule. When dad speaks, you stop and look. Very simple. No lectures. Walk in, say the name, and then, hey, eyes on me. If they keep staring at the screen, you don't ramp up the volume. You calmly step between them and the distraction, and you wait. This is basic behavioral psychology. You're pairing your voice with attention and action. So then you give clear, concrete instructions. Bad. Can you not make such a mess? Better. Toys away in that box before dinner. Let's go. If they obey, even slowly, acknowledge it. Good. Thank you. That's what I'm talking about. No gushing, just calm approval. If they refuse or whine, one warning. You can obey now or you lose X later. And then follow through. No second, third, fourth chances. You're teaching them that dad's words are not mood, they're reality. Now, the next piece is unity. From now on, adopt this rule. No contradicting each other in front of the children. If your wife undermines you in the moment, don't talk to them like that. It's not a big deal. Don't argue back. Simply say calmly, we'll talk about this later. Then actually talk later. Use a simple frame. Here's what I was trying to do. Here's how it felt to have you correct me in front of them. And how can we handle this better next time? You're not her father, you're her husband. But as head, you are allowed to say, this dynamic isn't working. Let's fix it. And if she lists your failures, good. Listen, take notes, learn, change. Leadership is not barking orders, it's taking the heavier share of responsibility when something is broken. Now, a quick word on anger. Aquinas says anger can be just when it responds to real injustice and is governed by reason. Most of you aren't there. You go from tolerance, tolerance, tolerance to explosion. That teaches your kids dad's rules are unpredictable. Dad is scary, not safe. Mom needs to shield us from dad. So you must treat anger like fire in the house. Confess sinful anger explicitly. Pay penalties of some sort when you blow up. Extra chores, apologies to each child by name, and build a preset response. When you feel that surge of anger, step out, breathe. Pray, Jesus, meek and humble of heart, make my heart like unto thine. Then return. You're training a new habit, firm, calm, measured response. So here's something concrete for the next 4 weeks. Daily, just 5 minutes to review the day. Did my kid stop and look when I spoke? Did I follow through calmly? And then one simple act of affection for each child. Eye contact, blessing before bed, just a short chat. And then twice a week, 15-minute debrief with your wife after the kids are down for the night. What went well with discipline? Where did we undercut each other? And then on Sunday, bring your failures to confession. Ask explicitly, Lord, make me a father my children can obey without fear. Over a month, the house won't magically be perfect, but if you do this consistently, you'll feel the shift. Less chaos, more respect, fewer explosions. So everything we talked about, the discipline, the unity with your wife, getting control of your anger, is exactly what we work on inside the patriarchy.com school community. It's not a theory group. It's a training ground for Christian husbands who are done being passive. You'll get step-by-step tools on headship, discipline, and conflict, other men around you doing the same work, and also a one-on-one coaching call on your exact situation. Men inside report fewer blow-ups, warmer wives, and homes that finally feel peaceful again. So if you want that, head to patriarchy.com/start and join us. Here's some quick homework for you. In the comments, just tell me which part of today's video hit you hardest. It could be the kids ignoring you, the wife overruling you, or it could be your lack of control over your anger. And this week, use that sentence with your wife. I'm going to take primary responsibility for discipline. Please back me up in front of the kids and tell me later if I missed something. You're not a victim of your house. You are the father. Ask God for the grace you need to do your duties well, pick up the cross, and start training your home to respond to your voice again.